Welcome to the Yoga Method. Our practice today will explore the three bodies in yogic philosophy. So we have a physical body, an energetic body, and a bliss body. And when we move and breathe, we bring an awareness and awakening to all three levels or all three layers of the body. So as soon as you're ready, come and join me at the top of your mat or the right end of your mat if you're facing side on. And we close down the eyes to connect with our breath, with our bodies. So we feel the physical body, our muscles, our bones, the tissues, our organs. And we also can feel the energetic body, the nervous system, the sensations. And it is the breath, our pranayama, that moves between the two. So just simply connecting with your physical body. And at the same time, the breath connecting us with our energetic body. Setting an intention for your practice only if you wish. And perhaps it's to honor this human body, this human existence, the gift of this life, as we move and breathe and flow together. When the time is right for you, you'll release your hands, you'll open the windows of your eyes. And let's just move into 2 sun salutation A's to warm the body. So on the inhalation, let the hands rise high, looking to your thumbs if your necks will allow. On your exhalation, just gently, slowly, let's move into this first forward fold with your hands resting on your knees, your shins, or perhaps the floor if it's accessible today. Take a moment to really just flood the body with your awareness and with your breath, releasing any tension that you're holding or housing in your neck or your shoulders. So feel the physical body. We feel the hamstrings, our lower back. And then if we move a little bit deeper underneath the surface of the body, we feel the breath moving in and moving out. And we feel how the breath begins to open the body and release tension within the body. On your next inhalation, lift your heads, lift your hearts. And on the out breath, bend your knees a lot. Roll all the way up. That was kind of half a sun salutation A. Before exhaling, hands down and around to Samastitihi. 2 full A's. Surya Namaskar A. Greeting a new day as we breathe in and up. On the exhalation, moving slowly, mindfully into our forward fold. On your in-breath, lift, lengthen, hands to shins or fingertips to floor. Before stepping or hopping if you feel ready. Lowering on your knees or your toes, belly strong. Just come halfway to keep our shoulders healthy. And then choosing a baby cobra or an upward facing dog if you're ready. Child's pose always on offer. If downward facing dog is not feeling right for you today, or if at any point we just need a port of rest. So please take a moment here to check that your hands are shoulder distance. Your middle finger is parallel to the long edge of your mat. Your wrist crease is parallel to the top end of your mat. And as you gaze between your feet, you're checking that your toes are spread. You're gripping with the feet to engage the legs and the feet themselves. And we're squeezing the thumbs towards the midline and the heels towards the midline to really energize that central channel of the body. Please take one more full breath here. And then let's add a little bit of gentle movement. Tuning into your body. Feeling the sensation that the energetic anatomy is offering. And using the physical body to move, to clear, to create more space within the body. Taking 2 more full deep breaths with movement. You might be resting in child's pose. Perfect. 1 more full breath with movement. And then let's all come to stillness. And if you're in child's pose, come and join us in your downward facing dog. On your next in-breath, lift to the tips of your toes. And on your exhalation, bend your knees, look to the top of the mat. Walking or hopping, please lift and lengthen as you take a breath in. And on your exhalation, bowing into your forward fold. Grip with your feet, energize your legs, your core, sending your hands high as you breathe in. Releasing hands down and around to Samastitihi. One more A. How tall can you grow as you breathe in? On your exhalation, keeping the core strong as we release the spine forward, bowing the head last. On the in-breath, the longest arms, legs, and spines as we look forward, stepping or hopping, transitioning on knees or toes through chaturanga. We energize an open front body as we breathe in before lifting up and back as we breathe out. Please, once again, just feel how the body is feeling, making any adjustments that you need. So we never need to have a straight leg position here. Your spinal position is more important. So if you're feeling a little rounded through your spine, please bend your knees, lift your tailbone, send the hips back, and then only if it feels like you can maintain that spinal length, adding a little bit more length through your hamstrings. Taking 2 more breaths. Breathe in, get longer. Breathing out, tapping into your strength. 1 more full deep breath in and out. On the in-breath, to the tips of the toes we go. On the exhalation, bending the knees, looking to the top of the mat. Walk or fly. Lift and lengthen as you breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Rise and shine, reaching to the sky, to the ceiling, before circling the hands down and around to Samastitihi. So coming into our flow, we'll build it, of course, progressively. Take hands high as we breathe in. And on the exhalation, please draw the hands to your heart center, shifting the weight into your right leg. And just see if you can pick up through your left heel. So variation 1, as we balance, we can definitely keep the foot on the floor. Variation 2, picking up through the left knee. Now the standing leg, I want you to feel that you're gripping with your feet. The arch of your right foot is maintained. And you've got a little micro bend in your right knee. When you're ready, see if you can cross this foot over above the knee and begin to take an imaginary seat, shifting the hips back. If there's a wall nearby, by all means. And then we're sending the hands high and wide. So steady eye gaze as we lift through the navel center, flooding the breath into the body. And then please circle your arms behind you. Interlace your fingers. Send your knuckles away from your hearts. And you'll feel your collarbones really broaden. Stay for 1 more full deep breath in. And then see if you can sneak that leg down. You might touch the floor. You might continue to send the leg back. But we're stepping into Anjani Asana. So lifting through the chest, variation 1, we could be on the floor. Variation 2, we're going to keep the pelvis level with the ear, the shoulder, the hip, and the knee stacking in one line. So finding the lift of the heart. Finding as much depth in the legs as you wish, but feeling navel drawing towards the spine, please. Taking 2 more deep breaths in and out. 1 more full deep breath in and out. Listen, loop your hands, leave them interlaced into the curve on your right side, the curve of your waist, before opening to a warrior 2 shape. So in this position, hip and knees in one line. We've got the back arms swung around to the front hip, and we're feeling the back foot pressing into the outer edge. Heart is open, breath is deep, feeling the physical body, and feeling the energetic body through our prana, through our breath. As we breathe in, that is prana. And as we breathe out, apana. 1 more full deep breath in and out. On your in-breath, release your right hand and take it high. Before we windmill the arms, frame the foot, step back to our high plank, and moving through chaturanga, please. Energize and open to baby cobra or up upward facing dog. Before lifting hips up and back, downward facing dog. Your right leg is going to rise. Please leave your pelvis level. Pressing really dynamically with the hands to send the feet back. One more full breath in stillness. And on your next in-breath, please lift to the tips of the toes. On the exhalation, right knee to right elbow, pause. On the in-breath, bring the knee to the heart, shift the hips slightly back. On the exhalation, shift forward, shoulders over wrist. On the in-breath, just shift back slightly, keeping knee to chest. And on the exhalation, taking it across the line of the body. On your inhalation, send that leg high to three-legged dog before gently releasing that foot to the floor. Second side, only when you're ready. Pelvis is level. We're pressing fiercely into the hands to send the legs back. Eye gaze to our big toe on the floor. One more breath here, please. On your inhalation, float to the tips of your right toes, shifting forward, bringing knee and elbow to meet on the left. On the in-breath, knee to chest as you shift the weight slightly back. On the exhalation, shift forward, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, just lift a little bit. And on the exhalation, left knee to right elbow before sending that leg high to your three-legged dog, releasing the foot to the floor, please. One deep breath in to bring us to the tips of the toes. On our exhalation, bending the knees, look where we're going. Walking or hopping, we lift and lengthen once we've arrived safely before bowing into our forward fold. Spread your wings, touch the ceiling, energize from floor to sky before hands circle to our heart center, Samastitihi. Circle and sweep, repeating that pattern on the other side. On the out-breath, just draw the hands to the heart, please. Shift the weight to your left foot. Micro bend the standing leg and energize it. Heel lifts, maybe the toes stay on the floor, or choosing perhaps to pick up through our right knee. Steady your eyes. And when the time is right for you, crossing the foot above the knee, sending the pelvis back as we send the hands forward, finding that counterbalancing energy here. In your own time, taking hands behind you, interlacing your fingers, sending your knuckles away to really open through the chest. Just one more full breath, please. Remember, we can touch the ground as we step back to Anjani Asana, but once we've arrived there safely, choosing whether or not we're on the earth or whether we're just hovering slightly above. Please exaggerate the lift of the heart, the reaching of the knuckles to the floor, staying and breathing for 3, for 2, one more full deep breath in and out. We're looping the hands, they're still interlaced to the curve of our waist on the left side before we lift and pivot into our Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Checking that our front hip and knee are aligned, our knee is sitting above our ankle, and we can see our big toe on the inside of the knee, and then bring more awareness into your back leg, finding breath, finding connection to the physical, the energetic, and perhaps the bliss body as well. On your next inhalation, release through your left hand. Take your hand high as you breathe life to the tips of the fingers before windmilling the arms, framing our foot, lifting our back heel. Slide to high plank on the in-breath. Exhale, eyes forward, elbows tight. Chaturanga on the out-breath. Energize back body, squeeze the heels to the middle before lifting up and back, downward facing dog. On your in-breath, right leg is rising again. On the exhalation, same elbow to knee, pause. Inhale, just knee to chest, pause, and shifting elbow to opposite side, pause. Return to your three-legged dog as the breath comes in before releasing the foot to the floor, please. Rising through the left side on the in-breath, lift to the tips of the toes. On your exhalation, left knee, left elbow, shift forward. On the in-breath, a slight shift back. On the exhalation, shift forward. On the in-breath, a slight shift back before crossing underneath the line of the body. Inhale to send the leg high to a three-legged dog, level pelvis, releasing the foot to the earth, finding breath, finding connection to your hands and your feet. And on the next in-breath, lift to the tips of the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look where you're going. Walk or fly, lift and lengthen. Exhale, let it all go. Rise and reach. How tall can you grow? As you look to your thumbs, hands home to our sacred heart space, samastitihi. So one more flow through each side of the body before we come to our seated sequence, please. We begin by circling the arms high. And on the exhalation, draw everything to the midline. Shift a weight to your right foot. Micro bend and energize your right leg. Picking up through your left foot, only if that feels safe for you. So if the toes are on the earth, you're going to repeat that same pattern, keeping the toes on the earth. We cross the foot above the knee for variation 2. Send our hands forward, send our hearts forward before circling the arms behind us. Interlace the fingers. Send the heart forward as the knuckles reach away. And we're coming to Warrior 3. Remember, Warrior 3 could be on the earth with your left foot, or maybe we're keeping it hovering, finding a level pelvis, a steady eye gaze for 2 more breaths. You're going to land your airplane safely. And option 1, the knee is on the earth. Variation 2, had a bit of a speed landing. You're hovering, knee, but keeping that lunge position. And variation 3, please feel free to lengthen that back leg any amount that feels available for you. So descend into your front leg, energize an open front body, charge your back thigh, and finding 2 more deep breaths, please. One more full deep breath in and out. Fingers stay interlaced. As we loop them into the curve of the waist on the right, you'll lift and pivot to come to your Warrior 2, your Virabhadrasana 2. Check your alignment, please. Feel the lift of Mula Bandha, the scooping of navel to spine, Uddiyana Bandha, descending as far as it feels amazing for you. Take one more breath here. On your inhalation, lengthen your leg without locking it. Leave your hands where they are and just explore a Trikonasa variation. If it doesn't feel right, always the option to take a hand to your shin, to your thigh. Wherever you are, celebrating your body, celebrating your efforts. One more full breath in. On the exhalation, we look down and bend deeply into the right knee. A sun warrior on your next in-breath. Before windmilling the arms, framing your foot, stepping back to high plank as you breathe in, moving through chaturanga with strength as you breathe out. We energize and open on the in-breath before sending hips high on the exhalation, please. Right leg is rising to your 3-legged dog, but your pelvis is level. On the exhalation, shift forward, right knee, right elbow, pause. On the in-breath, just bring the knee to the chest, shift the hips slightly back. Exhale, shift forward and stay. Inhale, a slight shift back with the hips, crossing under on the exhalation, and now thread that leg through to prepare for fallen triangle. Option 1, hands stay on the earth. Variation 2, we're rolling open, grounding with determination into the hands and feet. but finding lightness and length through your left arm. Take one more full breath here. And then how delicately, how lightly can you ease your way down onto your mat? Both hands come forward, resting on your thighs, your shins, and a little reprieve in a wide leg forward fold. The heart stays lifted, the spine stays long. We draw the toes back, we roll the thighs backwards as we draw the heart forward. Finding 2 more breaths, please. Feel the physical. Feel the energetic with your breath. And feel this beautiful connection between the mind, the body, and the breath. On your next inhale, lift your heads and hearts. As we sit tall, bring your right foot in to Jana Shushasana A. Square your pelvis, so now you're facing the back of your mat. Take a breath in as you reach high. Bend your left knee as much as you need. Resting your hands on your thigh, your shin, or perhaps reaching for your foot. If you're binding, right hand across the sole of the foot. The index finger and thumb hold the left wrist. We draw the toes back. We roll the right ribs towards the left inner thigh. And we endeavor to keep lengthening through our spine. Last 2 breaths. One more full deep breath in and out. On your inhalation, just lift your head and heart first. On the exhalation, release your Janu A, and then please place your right hand in the middle of the mat just behind you. Point your left foot, reach your left hand high. This is variation 1. Variation 2, we're coming into gate pose. So we're reaching over top of the head. We're creating the longest line through the left side of the body that we can manage. Pressing really deliberately into the pinky toe side of your left foot. Gazing to the floor or the palm of your hand on the left for one more full deep breath in. Now listen, a little sticky transition coming. We can do this. You're going to spot your eye gaze. You're going to press really strongly into both feet and find yourself in side plank with a split stance, please. Top arm continues to reach overhead, feeling the long line of body through the top side. One more full deep breath in before we ground the hand and meet in high plank. The inhalation shifts us forward. The exhalation, knees or toes, chaturanga. How open, how energized can we make the body before we lift ourselves up and back, downward facing dog. Your left leg is ready, breathing it in and up. On the exhalation, come forward, left knee, left elbow, pausing. On the in-breath, knee to chest, shift back slightly. Exhale to shift forward. One more time, inhale to angry cat, between touching the opposite side, threading through for fallen triangle. Option 1, both hands stay on the earth, pressing strongly. Variation 2, peel your way open with your right hand coming high. So whatever's on the earth, use it as your foundation, press into it deliberately in order to lift you upwards. Last 2 breaths. One more full breath. Oh, that breeze feels good. Before gently, slowly, gracefully, maybe not, landing in your wide leg forward fold. So find the lift of the spine, bend your knees as much as you need, and then ease your way forward. Any amount that your physical, your energetic, and your bliss body all unanimously say, yes, please. So toes draw back, dorsiflexion. The thighs roll backwards in order to open the pelvis. The heart surges forward with lightness, with buoyancy for 2 more breaths. One more full deep breath in and out. On our in-breath, we just lift the head and the heart. On the exhalation, we sit tall and we bring the right foot in above or below the knee. We can bend the right knee as much as we need as we enter Janu Shirshasana A. So the in-breath takes us to ceiling. The exhalation, we land the hands on the thigh, the shin. So I'd rather you had a bent leg with a really long spine than a straight leg, but feeling really rounded and congested. So just working with the spinal position first, and over time, the rest will unfold. The physical body will begin to open. If you're binding, it's your left hand across the sole of your right foot. Your thumb and index finger hold your right wrist. Our dristi, our focal point, is our eyes. And we're always working with those energetic locks in the body, particularly Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, and the flying upwards of the lower belly, Uddiyana Bandha. Setting the eyes, feeling the bandhas, and experiencing the breath moving in, moving out. One more full breath, please. On our inhalation, we lift our heads and our hearts only. On the exhalation, we'll sit tall, we'll point our right toes, and we'll place the left hand in the middle of the mat. Variation 1, stay grounded, especially if you have any wrist or shoulder issues. Variation 2 will come up and over into our gate pose. So the top body, how long can you make it? Can you stretch a little further from the fingertip to the toes? Grounding into our left hand, our left knee, and our right foot. Setting the eye gaze where it feels best for you as we take 2 more breaths. That little sticky, challenging transition to your side plank. So look to the floor first, and then lift the knee, slide that leg behind, and then reestablish the openness through the chest and the length of the top side body. Finding your inner strength, your inner focus for these last 2 breaths. One more full, deep breath in. And on the exhalation, spot your landing, roll to your high plank. Inhale to shift forward deliberately, eyes forward as we lower, elbows tight, body straight and strong. A celebratory upward facing dog or baby cobra before we lift up and back. Downward facing dog. There is just one leg left to balance on. So on your next in-breath, lift to your toes. On the out-breath, bend the knees, look forward. Lightly stepping or hopping, lift and lengthen with hands to shins or floor. Exhale, forward fold, please. Rising mindfully to your extended mountain pose before releasing hands home to your heart's Samastitihi. So standing sequence on the last side, inhale high. On the exhalation, we draw to the midline, but we're shifting into our left leg. The right heel gets light. We feel strong connection to our quadriceps, our hamstrings, our glutes, and our core. And then we test the water. We can leave the foot on the earth, or we can pick up through the right knee. One more breath before choosing to stay as you are or crossing the foot above. Send the arms forward, send the hips back, finding a steady focal point for your eyes before reaching the arms around behind you, interlacing your fingers, please. Deliberately reach your knuckles away, staying for 2 more breaths. And remember, we're moving into a standing warrior 3. So warrior 3 can absolutely be with your right toes on the floor. So take your time, touch down as many times as you need to. There's always turbulence when we're doing a warrior 3 airplane pose. So once you find your version, see if you can stay and breathe just for 2 more breaths before landing safely in Anjani Asana, Variation 1, we're on the floor grounded. Variation 2, we're hovering with that 90-degree angle in both knees. And variation 3, we can lengthen the back leg and find the expansiveness across the chest. Really deliberately reach your knuckles away, charge your back thigh, maybe even lifting your eye gaze if the balance is there. One more full breath, please. It is a warrior two you're heading to. So take your time, navigate your setup. So we've got heel to heel alignment through the feet, and then we're looping the interlaced fingers to the curve of the waist on the left side. Descend into your front knee, checking your meticulous alignment, pressing energetically into your pinky toe on the back foot for one more deep breath in. On your in-breath, we lengthen without locking. We can tilt forward smoothly, slowly, deliberately into Trikonasana. And always the invitation to ground your left hand on your thigh or your shin. Please make sure there's a micro bend in your left knee. Grip with your feet. Energize your core. Feel Mula Bandha, feel Uddiyana Bandha. Feel the quality of your breath. Taking one more full deep breath in. And on the out breath, spot your landing, bend deeply into your left knee. Sun warrior as the breath moves in, prana. And windmill the arms, apana, as the breath moves out. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Before we release, child's pose. Please, we did it. Knees wide or knees together, big toes together. Finding your preferred form of balasana and letting go of the effort. So a moment of stillness, deliberately celebrating our physical body, our energetic body, and feeling the bliss that our practice can bring. Tapping in and connecting to the deepest parts within ourselves. One more breath in stillness. And when the time is right for you, however you come to be in a seated position, it will be perfect. So you might choose to take a full vinyasa through chaturanga, up dog, down dog, and then step or hop through. Or you might just swing your legs around, or you might just cross your ankles and roll back. It's perfect, whatever you chose. And let's meet in Paschimottanasana, a breath in of celebration. And on the exhalation, remembering we can bend the knees so that we can maintain a long, lifted spine. And if it feels like there's room to play with, you're welcome to lengthen any amount. Your focal point is your big toes, your dristi. We draw the toes back. And if we can, we engage the quadriceps. And that will help to inhibit and relax our hamstrings more. On your in-breath, draw your toes to your nose to your toes. And on the exhalation, let the aponic phase of your breath really relax the body more. So 5 vayus in the body, the winds of the body. And as we breathe in, we're tapping into our prana vayu. As we breathe out, we're experiencing our apana vayu. The vayus are part of the energetic anatomy. Take one more breath, please. And when the time is right for you, you'll lift your head and heart. On the exhalation, we'll sit tall. And I'd like for you to thread the pinky toe side of your foot over. So initially, your foot will be there. That is perfect. And then if it feels like there's a little bit more space, you'll loop that foot a little bit higher. Please draw the toes back on your left foot. And variation 1, we take the hands behind us, we open through the heart. And if we're feeling sensation in the body, there's nothing more we need to do. Variation 2, you could hold the knee, and variation 3, you're welcome to explore the shin or the foot. Once again, anytime we're binding, we take the opposite hand across the sole of the foot, and then it is the index finger and thumb that seal the bind. Steady eyes on your big toe, deliberately melting, relaxing through your shoulders. So the physical body makes a shape using the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, the bones. And underneath that physical shape, we feel the energetic body. We feel the sensation that the nervous system is providing. Taking one more full, deep breath in and out. And on your inhalation, please lift your heads and hearts. On the out breath, just ease your way out of the shape. And if that was lots of wonderful sensation, we're going to stay there. Variation 2, you'll ground into your left hand. You'll lift through your right cheek, and you're going to thread your left leg under as well. I might turn towards you. So in the shape, the outer edges of both feet are on the floor, and the knees are stacking as best as we can. To get away from some of the sensation, if we simply ground our hands and ease back, that will decrease the sensation, but we can always change our mind and lengthen our bottom leg again. Once you've arrived there safely, please take a moment to take the arms high on the in-breath. And on the exhalation, let's just take a gentle open twist. Right hand on right shin, left hand anchoring to support us. As we spiral from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, looking over our left shoulder. How deeply can you breathe? How long, how light can you make the torso? Just take one more breath, please. On your in-breath, your eyes return. On your exhalation, release your twist, and please ground into your right hand. Send your left hand high, and that might be more than enough if there's more space to play with. And we're just playing with shapes. We're easing our way into lateral flexion, a side bend. So use your right hand to anchor you and to physically push back to stabilize the pelvis. And through your stable pelvis now, we can open more and more through the left side of the torso, looking to the floor, or maybe looking to the palm of your left hand. Send the breath to where you feel sensation. Just one more full, deep, glorious breath in and out. On your in-breath, help yourselves all the way up. Place your hands behind you. Release your feet. Take your feet wide. And momentarily just tick-tock your knees from side to side in your own time, in your own way. Just 2 by 2. A little range of motion, active range of motion through the hip joint. And when you're ready, you'll begin with both legs straight just momentarily. I'll face this way for a second. And then you'll thread your left foot over so the pinky toe is resting on the earth. Once we've arrived there safely, our option is just to sit tall. If we're feeling it, we're doing it perfectly. Nothing more is needed. The moment you feel it, you're there. Variation 2, we hold the knees without losing our posture. And variation 3, we tip forward, exploring the depth that feels blissful to our bodies. If you're binding, left hand across the sole of the right foot, index finger and thumb holding right wrist. Dristi is the big toe. We're drawing the foot back. We're softening through our shoulders. We're feeling the prana, the life force coming in. And we're feeling the apana, the out-breath, taking tension, toxins away. Last 2 breaths. One more full, deep, smooth breath in and out. On our in-breath, heads and hearts lift. On our out-breath, we sit tall, variation 1. We're going to reclaim the same shape. Option 2, you'll ground into your right hand. You'll lift your left cheek. You'll slide your right leg under. And then you'll reposition yourself to sit tall. I'll see if I can turn to you. And then making the adjustments. So both sit bones are grounded and the knees are stacked. The pinky toes are on the earth. Option 1, we lift through heart space. Variation 2, holding onto the knee. Just feel how the body's feeling. And then we took an open twist. So you'll use your left hand just to support you on the knee or the ankle or the shin before you ground into your right fingertips, gazing over your right shoulder. On your in-breath, could you get taller? Could you get longer through your spine? And on your exhalation, can you tap in the strength of your core and use your arms to gently revolve you? Last 2 breaths. On our inhalation, we'll return our eyes first. And on the exhalation, we release the twist, grounding now into your left hand, sending your right hand high. This is perfect where we are. We could even come a little bit further back. But if there feels like there's room and space to play with, you'll lower to your forearm, but then you'll physically press back with your left hand to anchor the right side of your pelvis, gazing to the floor or gazing to the palm of your right hand. Now breathe more deliberately into your right lung, into your right hip, into the right side of your lower back. Last 2. One more full, deep, expansive breath in and out. When you're ready, on the inhalation, just rise tall. On the exhalation, releasing. Hands behind you, shifting the legs back and releasing. And come to your boat pose, please, your Navasana. So holding onto your hamstrings with your toes on the earth for variation 1. Shins parallel for variation 2 as we release the hands. And variation 3, lengthening the legs any amount without compromising the shape of our spine. Steady your eyes on your big toes. Feel pelvic floor lift. Feel lower belly draw in. This combination of Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Bandhas, another component of our energetic anatomy. Staying 4. One more deep breath in and out. Please roll onto your backs when you're ready. Coming into your bridging shapes, please. So peeling our way down to the earth, we'll use that same arm shape we did in our standing sequence. Peace fingers touch the heels to make sure the heels are equal. A little lift of the head to check that we've got hip and knee alignment. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha engage, so set your core before tucking the tailbone, lifting through the pelvis. Walk your shoulder blades underneath you, interlace your fingers, press down into the pinky toes, press down into the big toes, and then really press your heels away from your hands. Your knuckles are reaching for your heels, your collarbones are broadening, and we're finding lightness in the hips, lightness in the heart. Just staying and working with your breath, please. On your in-breath, lift a millimeter higher. On your exhalation, maintain that new height. On your in-breath, lift a millimeter higher. On your exhalation, maintain that same height. Breathe in to lift the tiniest bit again. Exhale to stay. There's just one more. Inhale, lift, lift, lift as far as your body will allow. And on your exhalation, release your hands and peel your way down one vertebra at a time. Upper back, middle back, lower back, tailbone, relax. Gather the knees to your chest, please. Take a moment to hug yourselves and then to gently rock yourselves. Just feeling how that strong back bend, posterior chain strengthening, brings this flush of relaxation after we release it. We are moving to our inversions. So our restorative inversion is a happy baby pose, static, stationary, or dynamic with a little bit of movement. So the chin is in. We're deliberately melting through our shoulders. We are deliberately softening through our spine, through the cervical, through the thoracic, through the lumbar, and through the sacrum. Consciously bringing mobility and relaxation to our spine. Please just take one more breath with movement. Pausing before hugging knees to chest. I'm going to invite you to rock and roll your way up to a seated position, and we'll take a moment to explore either dolphin, or if headstand is part of your practice, you're welcome to go there. Remembering that the neck really is not meant for weight bearing. So if we're doing headstands, it really is a shoulder stand. There is minimal weight in our head, please. And if you want to learn how to do a headstand, I'm sure there's many tutorials you could access. But I think working one-on-one sometimes with a teacher when we're exploring these more challenging asanas is so critical, is so important, and is such a blessing to have that teacher-student relationship. So when you're ready, we'll explore the stepping stones towards a headstand, knowing that our shoulder range of motion and our shoulder strength and stability is the key to unlocking headstands, in addition to your core strength as well. So our setup for dolphin, and this is how we strengthen, is to stack the shoulder and the elbow, and then we reach for the opposing elbow to make sure that we have good alignment. Once we have that alignment, we interlace the fingers, we press the pinky finger down, the thumbs kiss, they meet, and then from here, with your toes tucked, your variation 1 for strengthening is to press into your pinky fingers, your wrists, your forearms, your elbows. Feel that angry cat shape between the shoulder blades. And we can just hover here. This is a brilliant core shoulder strengthening posture. And we land and rest anytime we need. Variation 2, you'll keep the same setup. You'll press down, you'll establish core connection with shoulder stability, and then you'll lift the knees. And then you might take more of a downward dog shape, which is the stepping stone into headstand, but my head is not on the ground. I am gazing to my feet, so just a modified dolphin. Press into the pinky finger, press into your hands, your forearms, your elbows. Feel the shake arriving. And then to increase the challenge, we could always pick up one leg for 5 breaths. Again, my head is not on the ground. And then gently release in your own time. You might rest in between, or you could lift to the other side. Press into your hands, your wrists, your forearms, your elbows. Belly strong, breath deep. And then gently releasing for a moment into child's pose with your arms wrapping back, your forehead resting on the floor, as we consciously let our nervous system release and relax. So I'm going to invite you in a moment to do it all again. So strengthening either in that hovering position, that 4-point kneeling position, with your knees off the floor, or exploring a modified dolphin with either both feet on the floor, or lifting one leg for 5 breaths, other leg for 5 breaths. Remember, no weight in the head. And then finally, if headstand is part of your practice, the second round we could explore it together. But please just make sure you're safe, make sure you feel confident. And if at any time you're experiencing any symptoms through the neck, we're coming out of it immediately. And hopefully I don't fall in the pool. So shoulders and elbows meet. We find the opposing elbow to landmark our setup. We interlace our fingers, our thumbs are kissing. And once we find that shape, we're nestling our head towards the floor. Ponytail issues perhaps might need a readjustment. From there, again, I'm pressing into my shoulders dynamically. I'll lift through my hips back into that dolphin shape. And then from there, we're just playing with weight. So we're finding that compression through the hip joint that allows the core to begin to lift the legs. We could always explore just the thighs parallel to the floor. And a wall is your best friend when you're beginning to learn how to do headstands. So finding, once again, the connection to your pinky fingers, your wrists, your forearm, your elbows, and then really deliberately energizing through your entire body. The straighter, the stronger the body, the more engaged the muscles are, the physical body, the lighter the body feels. So feel the physical shape that you're taking today. Breathe into the energetic component of it. Taking one more breath wherever you are, hopefully feeling a little bit of bliss before gently, slowly, meticulously finding your way back to the floor. Knees are going to land, releasing the arms behind you, and just allow the body to rest. Prana coming in, Apana moving out. Feel the physical body, the muscles, the bones, the tendons, the ligaments. And feel the sensation that the energetic body is offering. And feel how the prana, the pranayama, the breath connects the two. And when the time is right for you, you'll gently, slowly make your way to a seated position facing me if possible. And you'll come into Sukhasana, or a half lotus, or a full lotus, if that is part of your practice. So choosing the option that feels best to your physical body so that we can focus on the energetic body. So with your right peace fingers, in a moment I'm going to ask you to press them into the space between your eyebrows. But with your left hand, palm to ceiling, thumb and index finger lightly touching, the other 3 fingers energetically reach away. And I want to encourage you to press your elbow forward to help keep your heart lifted, your spine long. So right peace fingers between your eyebrows. Deliberately lift the elbow, lift your chest, close your eyes. Coming into Nadi Shodhana, take a breath in together. And at the end of your exhalation, I'd like for you to seal your right nostril, please. Breathe in through your left. Seal the left, open the right, breathe out through your right. Breathe in through your right. Seal the right, open the left, breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Seal the left, open the right, breathe out through the right. In through the right. Seal the right, open the left, breathe out through the left. Just do one more round in your own time. And at the end of your exhalation, let your right hand also take Chin Mudra. So palms facing upwards, back of the hands resting on the knees. Thumb and index finger lightly touching as the other three fingers energetically reach away. Elbows press forward, heart is lifted. Take a breath in. And on your exhalation, gently bow the chin towards your chest. So feeling pelvic floor lifting, Mula Bandha. Feeling navel center scooping in and up, Uddiyana Bandha. And we've also created this throat lock, Jalanara Bandha. So as we pause here with these three energy locks, these three bandhas, we're sealing the energy, the prana within our spinal column. Moving the awareness, moving the breath up and down the spinal column. In this gesture of respect. The ego, the mind bowing to the deeper, the higher wisdom, intelligence housed within our hearts, housed within our bodies. The physical body makes a shape. We use the prana, the breath, to tap into the energetic body. And deep, deep at our center, our eternal essence, our bliss body. One more breath. And when you are ready, release the chin, lift the chin, taking a moment with your eyes closed just to feel the quality of energy, the quality of prana you have cultivated. You're welcome to stay in a seated position, but if you have a moment to move into Shavasana as quietly as we can, we release the posture that we took and we ease our way down onto our backs, knowing that the integration of the physical practice happens now. The gift of the physical practice becomes integrated within our tissue, our fiber, our DNA when we pause and rest in stillness. Scan the body. Feel your physical body. Allow the muscles, the bones, the tendons, the ligaments, the organs to relax. Your physical body completely relaxed. And now feel your energetic body, your nervous system, feeling the sensation of the body. Can you allow your nervous system to come back into harmony, homeostasis, as the sympathetic nervous system calms and the parasympathetic nervous system refreshes, rejuvenates, and restores our body physically, energetically. And our third body, our bliss body. Tapping into the deepest aspect of you. Tapping into the eternal essence of you. Please allow your physical, your energetic, and your bliss bodies to stay in Shavasana for as long as you can. But if you need to reawaken, I'd like for you to begin by deepening your breath and expanding the awareness, feeling all three bodies, the bliss, the energetic, the physical, and how the breath transcends all. As you begin to breathe more fully, more deeply, expanding the awareness, inviting gentle, mindful movement back into the physical body, which only happens when the energetic communicates with the physical via the nervous system. Please making those movements a little larger while you maintain connected to your bliss body. When you are ready, and only when you decide the time is right, you'll bend your knees one at a time. You'll gather your knees to your hearts. You'll hug yourselves tightly. You'll celebrate the gift of all three bodies as you gently rock from side to side. And then rolling lightly to the right hand side of your body, we linger there for one final breath in before rising mindfully, patiently to a seated position, please. Any position that feels good to your body. Find the length of the spine, the lift of your heart as you bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Feel the physical, feel the energetic, feel the bliss body as we take one last breath together. Closing our practice with a bow. Namaste. Thank you for your time, your effort, and your energy. Hope you have a wonderful day.